was asking the people in Mary Sheridan, what next do I do? Nothing. And you don't have anywhere you could send me, becomes of my son? Oh, sorry, nothing. And this became a bone of contention at home, like, it's almost impossible for you to say nothing. But then we met some families from some other communities. They were saying, no, there is a place you can go. And if you happen to be in my community, most times you get basically almost no information, at least then, 7, 8 years ago. So we started talking about what we can do. And then the thought really of Africa came to mind, because I am an African and I came from Africa. Who knows about autism in Africa? In my opinion, at the time, nobody, basically. Myself, I had not heard of the word autism before I met my son and his diagnosis. So it was, my passion was to take autism to Africa. And apart from what I do here in England, which we've just started, I am very, very, very honored to say we're doing brilliant in Africa at the moment. We've got national organizations in Tanzania, Ghana, and in Sierra Leone at the moment, basically raising awareness and doing what government should have been doing in Africa, but are not doing. So we have gone in and, by the grace of God, talk to people, organize things, and getting it being known. Because our objective was to bring awareness, was to inspire people, was to bring campaign. Because if you think of the black community here in England, for example, how many times would I go to a party and be willing to take my son with me? How many times would I be really willing to take my son to church with me? Now comes to the things we do. Our objectives when we started was to just bring a campaign and awareness. But like every other thing you start in life, it takes a different shape as you move along. So not only me and a lovely group of people in our organization, we visit churches, we visit communities, like Vanessa and I nicely did last year, the Guyanese community. So we go to different communities to teach people, not teach per se, it is to tell people it is okay to be autistic. It is okay, from my experience, being with Jimmy, all the experiences I got in church, I got in the community, I got in the buses, I got in the schools, I got in my neighborhood. We wanted to do something about it. So if I start to say what we do, we do emotional support to families. I am lucky enough to be a trained psychotherapist. So if a family is affected by autism, I had to go into that school to support myself and my son. So I went to learn. So if, for example, not only me, and we've got trained counselors in our team as well, if we meet a family or families come to us who are suffering from one form or the other of emotional support, we give these services for free. We don't take money because it's a charity. We are not being sponsored at the moment, so all we are doing is from my pocket. It's a passion for me to help, because I know in the long term, good brings happiness that money cannot buy. So our little savings we have is what we are using to support Autism Voice. But I use my time as well, because I used to be a very good manager or work with a nice job, but I left it a couple of years ago to do Autism Voice. So we do emotional support, and we train people within our organization.